here with Jaya Kumra, the editor-in-chief of JSK Media Global, one of the very, very fast and up-and-coming vlogs. It's probably one of the more interesting ones to learn about various people in Hong Kong, but it comes to us originally as a lawyer in the United States and a alumni of the UVA, and also I guess born and raised in India before she came here. So Jaya, really excited to have you on our show today, and looking forward to hearing about what you're doing in the digital space and how you're transforming yourself into this new digital pioneer.
Thank you so much, Bill, for having me. Absolutely a pleasure.
So let's talk about, so now that you've gotten into the media space,
Yes.
Hong Kong has been trying to become the digital hub for the region for a long time. Many people think because of the situation with China that it may not be the digital hub in the future, and people may move out of Hong Kong. I mean, what's your seeing? Obviously, you're interviewing a lot of the key leaders in the place, and do you see still kind of a confirmation of Hong Kong as being this focal place, or do you see people changing their minds and moving away?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there is no going about the fact that Hong Kong, will continue to be one of the main hubs for digital transformation. Today, if you ask me, is Hong Kong a global leader in digital space? No, it's not. It's still a long way to go. We do have some great fintech companies. We do have, we have, to our credit, one of the largest, most profitable stock exchange in combination with Shanghai Stock Exchange. We have Octopus, which is like a payment wallet. We have two big transport aggregators like Lala Move and GoGoVan. So we have all these to our credit, but we have many more to go. So of course there is a big scope, but the real question is not whether Hong Kong has the scope of being the leader. The real issue is Hong Kong has no choice, but it has to be the hub of digital transformation. And let me tell you why. The reason Hong Kong became a global city was because it established contacts with West. It established contacts with China, established great physical contacts with many countries in Europe. And now in COVID times, when all those physical contacts have become difficult, so it has to not only embrace this digital transformation, but it doesn't have to survive, but it has to thrive. So how can it do it? Of course, all companies, small and big, are transforming themselves digitally. You can see that already happening in Hong Kong. People definitely have to upscale their digital skills. And here, of course, the Hong Kong government can be an enabler by helping all the big and the small companies and the people, like many city governments in China have done that. So I'm very hopeful that today it is, and tomorrow it will even be stronger in this space.
It's interesting because obviously you just got into this. You and I grew up reading books, right? Yes. The question is, are books something of the past? Is it all going to be video in the future? Or are the great authors going to be vloggers as opposed to authors? Or do you think, what do you think the role is? I mean, in this, because it is becoming a new media that, if you look at your children in the classroom, they watch as much video as they actually read now. Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
I believe that, even in the past, even in the past, video has always existed with print. I mean, if you look at it, we've had print as always a dominant media, and then came television. Did television coexist with written content? It always did. Today, the issue is the old media, which is the normal network distribution like CNN, BBC, are they going to continue to thrive with the new media like TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, which is like really accessible, which is democratizing, the information. It's growing widely. So is new media going to be as acceptable or as wide or as popular as the old media? I believe the old media had more legitimacy, the new media has more accessibility, but they will reach an equilibrium where they will both exist.
The big question is with social media.
Yeah.
Obviously, the U.S. election kind of put the spotlight on this. Is fake news, or when you're sending out is information that goes out that's unchecked.
Yes.
Or politicians saying things and putting it out on Twitter, or should that be regulated going forward if it's not true, or if it's defamatory, or should it be allowed? And should the regulators step in, or should we just let these networks continue to publish whatever they want?
Yeah, that's a really that's a tricky one to answer because it depends. To me, it depends on who is posting it. Now, if you're a politician, you're already like answerable to public. Everything of a politician is out there for public to see. So, if a politician tweets, if can the regulators regulate it? Now, that's a tough one to answer because especially for US, because it's a democratic country, everyone has freedom of speech. But in US also, freedom of speech comes with certain restraints. It comes with certain responsibilities. So I think if there is something which is personally attacking or defamatory, there has to be some regulation there. Now, how do you define that line? That's a really difficult one for the lawmakers to answer. I don't think I'm in a position to answer, but if you were to ask me, should there be a regulation there? Certainly there should be. Some tools which defines what is defamatory and what is not has to be there.
As you go forward, what's going to be the biggest challenge from the digitally focused? How do you get users to come see your stuff? How do you promote it? Are there new techniques that are used to promote yours, or you just put it out on there and people come? How does it?
Creating content was actually an easy task for me. I had a good personal network that helped me get my guests, and then the balls started rolling and the show became pretty popular. But it was actually, to every blogger, I think it's reaching the audience, which is a higher challenge. And the reason is because the eyeballs are controlled by a few tech giants. And the way things work is like, there's a conflict of interest between what they want and what you want. Oftentimes, you need to pay a lot of money for your content to be put out there. And economically, for many startups like mine, it becomes an unviable option. So that has been a challenge. And I see that in many, many industries where the curator of the content or the companies that puts the solution to the customer often doesn't make as much money as these tech platforms do. So that's what has happened. And I'm trying. It's reaching. I would say it's reached many more audience than what I actually expected. I'm very happy with the turnover. And hopefully it'll keep growing.
Talk to me about the future. Okay, post-COVID, where do you think Hong Kong is headed? Do you think it's you've interviewed 52 sort of very successful people?
Yes.
Is it optimism or is it caution? What do you think as you think about the next 5 years for Hong Kong?
I think the next 5 years for Hong Kong is going to be phenomenal. So going forward, whether Hong Kong will be a financial center, maybe it will be if things become fine. Will Hong Kong be financially always one of the top centers? Absolutely. It will always remain one of the top centers. Maybe not number one, but certainly number 2 or number 3. I mean, that position can't be taken away because China presents a huge opportunity and the natural route has to be through Hong Kong. Because still the world has more faith in Hong Kong because of the legal system, because of the way the whole Hong Kong framework is, the ease of doing business. So the role of Hong Kong as a future staying as one of the top future financial centers of the world will always be. Technologically also, I see it definitely growing. Maybe not number 1, but certainly number 2 or number 3, that position can't be taken away. Overall, Hong Kong will continue to remain really strong. I'm very optimistic about it.
Thank you, Jaya, and thanks for taking a few minutes just to kind of share your thoughts. Thank you very much for joining us on Digging into the Future.
Thank you for inviting me here.